Every one of us is tasked with bringing the world to perfection. This week's Parashah reveals a secret to help us do just that. The Parashah opens with the words, "This is the line of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, flawless in his generation." The generation that Noah lived in was famously flawed, so flawed that Hashem was to bring a flood to wipe them all out. So what does it mean, flawless, in his generation? Rashi famously asks this question, presenting two conflicting points of view. One says that the phrase is to Noah's credit. He was able to be righteous surrounded by such a horrible generation. How much more righteous would he have been in a better generation? The other opinion is to Noah's discredit. He was only righteous in comparison to the evil of his generation. Had he lived at any other time, he would have been nothing. But really, what does it matter? We don't get to pick the generation in which we live. All we can do is be the best we can be in the generation we're in. LeBron versus Michael, Ruth versus Mays, Noah versus Moshe. The greatest of all time rankings are fun, but ultimately meaningless. But what kind of person was Noah that made him flawless in his generation? While reading the Parsha, we notice one phrase coming up over and over again regarding Noah. Noah did so, just as Hashem commanded him, so he did. We see variations of that over and over. Noah seems to follow Hashem's instructions very well. Hashem says build an ark, Noah builds it. Hashem says to collect the animals, he collects them. Hashem says to get into the ark, he gets in. The behavior is noteworthy in a few ways. First, in a generation famous for acting contrary to the will of Hashem, you see why someone who faithfully follows Hashem's direction would be praised. Second, Noah acted. He didn't sit back and say, someone should really build an ark, or I wonder who's going to collect the animals. There was hard work to do, and when Hashem commanded it, Noah didn't shy away from it. He rolled up his sleeves and took action. But on the other hand, Noah never seems to really take initiative. He waits until Hashem tells him exactly what he should do. But building an ark is hard. Collecting the animals is hard. Stepping onto the ark as the world around you is about to be destroyed is hard. Can you really blame Noah for not doing those things until he was explicitly asked to? But then the flood comes. And what do we see right after the flood? Once the land dries out, we read, "Come out of the ark together with your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives." And then we read, "So Noah came out together with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives." Okay, I can understand not getting into the ark until Hashem commands it, but you'd think that after all that time, Noah would jump at the first opportunity to get off the ark. But no, he waits diligently for Hashem's command to get off the ark. Is this trait to Noah's credit or his discredit? Being a reliable servant of Hashem doesn't seem like such a terrible thing. There's a wonderful Midrash that addresses this. Noah said to himself, "Since I only entered the ark with permission from Hashem, shall I leave it without permission? The Holy One, blessed be he, said to him, are you looking for permission? In that case, I give you permission." Then Hashem said to Noah, come out of the ark. Rabbi Yehuda Bar Ilai said, "If I had been there, I would have smashed down the doors of the ark and taken myself out of it." According to Rabbi Sachs, there is only one moral to draw from this. When it comes to rebuilding a shattered world, you don't wait for permission. God gives us permission. He expects us to go on ahead. Chaverim, my friends, our world is shattered. It's shattered in a way that just about none of us have seen in our lifetime. Now is not the time to wait for permission. Now is the time to act. And what act do we need to specifically perform? Well, stick with me for the year and we'll unpack that one parsha at a time. But for now, you can hit subscribe and share this with someone you think would like it and someone you think needs to hear it. When it comes to rebuilding a shattered world, you don't wait for permission. You need to act. That is one thing we can learn from this week's Parsha. How will you step up this week to bring the world a little closer to perfection? Shabbat Shalom and Am Yisrael Chai.